Hello and welcome back to a video for Final Fantasy XIV related merch with me, Meoni. This time I wanted to look at something that personally I have an interest in. This is not everyone's cup of tea, and well, certainly I can imagine some people would say that this is quite creepy. It's not for everybody, but for me, I personally think this is fantastic looking. This is the first collaboration that Dollfie Dream, also known as Volks, is the company who makes Dollfie Dream, has had with Final Fantasy XIV Online as a collaboration where they're actually producing a Dollfie Dream doll in the style of Y'shtola. Now, Y'shtola in her black mage attire specifically. Now, this is something I myself have actually signed up for. I want one of these, so I've put my hard-earned money aside in preparation for this. So I will have a full unboxing of this in the future. But I wanted to talk about this a little bit and show off some of the details, because this is the actual official Dollfie Dream website. Now, it is sort of roughly translated from Japanese to English here. But it's not too bad translation, so we can have a look at this. So a Dollfie Dream then, what exactly is this? So Dollfie Dreams are a set of dolls that are at like a premium level. So they're very much more than just, you know, a person's normal little tiny doll that they would have. These are more like statuettes. These are, to an extent, a full extent of what would be possible with resin and so all sorts of different materials that you could possibly think of, and these things are absolutely huge. So this thing is what, 63 I think it is centimeters tall. Just to give you an idea of that, that's taller than my monitor, that's taller than my my PC case. You can imagine how big 63 centimeters is just in her height. So as you can see, it says from Square Enix's online RPG, blah 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 blah. The dress is reminiscent of darkness, expressing a three-dimensional effect by layering multiple layers of fabric with different textures. Combined with the key fur presence and asymmetric design, the result is beautiful and mysterious witch outfit. Of course, this is her black mage attire. So this is the first picture. On here, though, they do have some really intricate pictures of all the details. So the eyes themselves are Dollfie Dream's patented resin eyes. These are made like a jelly substance, specifically to make them as realistic, like anime type eyes you can physically make. A lot of airbrushing goes into this, a lot of painting. It's all handmade. These dolls are handmade. Each one then is slightly different than the next. They are not just on a production line of a machine doing everything. This is someone's steady hand making sure everything looks right and sorting the hair out and cutting the fabric and putting it all together. And obviously the painting of the doll and the rest of it. It says, pay attention to the quality of Dollfie Dream, which has the charm of dolls and figures. Yeah, so they've done this for many years, Volks have, and this is what they were stylizing it over. Let's just quickly zoom in on this browser. So this is the traditional Black Mage art, Black Mage Y'shtola art that came with Shadowbringers, that Ayume Name, the costume designer and art person for Final Fantasy XIV, has put forward. So this is the concept, and they've gone off basically this concept drawing rather than an in-game screenshot. So that's why she might look a little bit more concept-wise than maybe the Y'shtola you're used to, but I think she is very pretty. That's my own personal opinion. If we scroll down, then we can see more information and also these stunning screenshots. You can sort of see the sorts of details you expect. So you've got the fur-lined collar, you've got this fabric. These are multiple different textures, multiple different fabrics, bits of leather, you know, lace and fur and velvet and feathers and different types of stitching, and there's actually her weapon, her signature weapons in this, which I presume is 3D printed or something like that, that's been colored and you know, look at the details on the back as well. The, like, what do you call that? The fastener on the back of her, the little fasteners on the collar as well for the choker, her necklace. Look at the details here. The eyes, to me personally, I think the eyes are the most stunning thing about these particular dolls. I think they look absolutely wonderful. They really, really are quite exceptional. The boots, the sole of her boots then, with the various symbols on them there, which presumably must be from the actual concept art itself. I've never seen the bottom of Y'shtola's boots, funnily enough. Maybe I should go in the game and pause them whilst I'm running or something. But very interesting, very interesting. So this is overseen by Ayume Name herself, and the art team are basically keeping a watchful eye over the production of this. So it's not like it's something that's going to be gung-ho and nothing like it. They're there to control the direction of the art. So yeah, there's the actual weapon itself, Nightseeker, which is just stunning, isn't it? That itself is a huge weapon. If you think the doll is 63 centimeters, that's what, at least 20, maybe 30 centimeters of staff. That is really, really good. So that's the first, the biggest official licensed version of that staff we've seen. A lot of people have been making PVC props for cosplay for the longest time. I love the cosplay community in 14 and around 14 and Final Fantasy in general and Square Enix. But yeah, this is going to be really cool. So there's lots of shiny details in there, nice paint jobs, lots of intricate detailing as well on the top of a weapon that I didn't even know was there. But yeah, there you are in some artistic pictures now with different lighting. This is the famous scene then when Urianger is telling her about the stars, because she is at this point unfortunately blind. That just looks stunning. As we scroll down here, there's some of the information on this. It is £1,000 in the UK, which is 99,880 yen. You can actually buy it from the Dollfie Dream website, or you can go on the Square Enix website of your region. Bear in mind, these are limited. You only have until November, I would like to say 15th, but that's a guess. So I would go on the official store and check that. But you only have until somewhat in November to put this in. And if there's a large amount of orders, then they'll do 2 waves. So yeah, this is looking to be a 2022, I believe it was February release. So let's look at some of these pictures up close. She's just stunning. Like I say, it's not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people might be like, oh, you know, it's a creepy doll. Why would you want this? It's not just that it's not that it's a doll. It's the fact that I love collecting figures and statues. I would love to have this in the corner, maybe in a cabinet when I finally find room and you know, an actual place to put a cabinet. I want to get one of those IKEA cabinets, glass ones, and place this in there with the other Final Fantasy merch I've got. But it's going to have to be quite a tall one. But there we go, another stunning scene. Maybe print out some things, maybe have some lighting in the cabinet to, you know, to project onto it, sort of like this, the flood of light behind her there. And then we have in Raktika itself, where she's preparing for battle. It is, I'm over the moon with this. I think this is fantastic. Now, it is a bit pricey, but Dollfie Dreams, for the most part, you're paying for the premium quality. Pretty much what you see is what you get here. They're not kind of fleecing you, not pulling the wool over your eyes. A lot of the times you look at these websites at figures or dolls or whatever you want to call them. Even some of the you know, like the play arts and bring art stuff, a lot of the time they unfortunately have very, very good cameras, and they take pictures of things that look nothing like the final product, as we found with the Omega statue. But I think that this is as close to being you know, open as they can possibly be. Of course, they've got a powerful camera here, but I've seen some of the other pictures that some of the people working on this have posted on Twitter. Some of the designers have posted very amateur photography on there, and it looks exactly the same, just lower resolution images, which I'm even more convinced that this is a good idea if you have that sort of disposable income. It's not for everybody. The brooch is one of the things that I love the most, though. That is absolutely stunning there. Lots of detail to be had. Very nice scene here with obviously depth of field use. And then we have this where she's holding out her hand. So this is a fully posable thing, but you probably already knew that. Just everything about this is wonderful. And the thing about Dollfie Dream dolls as well is that there is a huge collection series behind this. A lot of people just buy them to collect them, but there's also customization. A lot of people buy them just for the outfits as well. It's an extremely expensive hobby, but a lot of people buy different outfits and mix and match and buy things specifically for that. So it is a huge collectible, and will appreciate, obviously, in value as the years go by, which is another benefit. There's one of the pictures that Square Enix themselves use on their store page, which I think is gorgeous, with the sunset behind there, casting that silhouette and just showing the sort of poses she can do. Of course, you still have stuff like ball joints and things like that on the hands. She is a doll at the end of the day. It's hard to get away from that. The familiar hands on hip pose there. There you go. There's your go-to. That's one of the more realistic shots, I think, actually, and it's not overly saturated. You can see it for what it is. I think that for the sheer size of this, the quality is exceptional. They've managed to keep it at a macro level, and it's quite surprising. The tail is quite white. In this particular shot, for some reason, it looks very grey, but I think that's the lighting in the backdrop they've used. But yeah, you can tell with the hair there that this is a much darker shoot. Another little thing is focus on the detail. She has that like one finger in a metal thing that her outfit has always had, that sort of fingerless plus a fingered glove, metal glove thing with her ring as well, which is interesting. But yeah, how can you not say that this is a work of art? Now, some people will say this is horribly creepy. You know, some people will agree with that. But you have to admit that the time and effort that's going into this is exceptional, regardless of if you like it or not yourself. Is it for everybody? Certainly not. Certainly not. And I think the price is something that will put a ton of people off, and I do not blame you in the slightest. This is an extreme case of caving in on my own part. But there we go. It is what it is, right? You know, I put money back into everything I do, and this is one of the things that I personally wanted. So that's just something I wanted to do. But there we go. There'll be more information, and of course I'll link this in the description. But I thought I'd share this today because it has the best pictures of this, and of course there are store pages on here as well. You can actually have a link directly to the Square Enix store, or even go onto your own Square Enix store of your own region, and you'll be able to pop in a pre-order for this if you're interested. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I'll say that again, probably for like the 7th time. But yeah, I think it's awesome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.